It seems simple enough for all of us. For people living with cystic fibrosis, it is a day-by-day, hour-by-hour, minute-by-minute struggle. Cystic fibrosis is a disease of contrasts and contradictions. On the one hand, cystic fibrosis robs the lives of young people, yet on the other, I have seen these same young people embrace their lives with a relentless passion that leaves us all wondering where they find their stores of energy. We see the contradiction of cystic fibrosis in the private struggles and in the public confidence of these young people. If you don't believe me, just check out Hattie's blog. It makes for some pretty compelling reading. The more positive situation for Canadians with cystic fibrosis is in no small part due to the dogged determination of the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in leading the fight against this disease. I have 3 kids, 2 daughters, 23 and 20, and a son, 16. My son has cystic fibrosis, and when I told them I was coming to speak at a fashion event, they were a little skeptical. It's because they're not used to using my name and the word fashion in the same sentence. Notwithstanding their doubts, however, that I could pull this off, I stand before you tonight proud to represent the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and flattered to speak on their behalf at this wonderful event. As Casey has mentioned, the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation is a Canada-wide health charity with 50 volunteer chapters, including the Peel chapter, that funds vital cystic fibrosis research and care. And the foundation's mandate is to help individuals with CF, principally by funding CF research and by supporting high-quality clinic and transplant care. Some other important responsibilities, though. The foundation provides educational materials for the cystic fibrosis community and for the general public, and undertakes advocacy initiatives, most recently including newborn screening in 4 provinces and the subsidization of many of the medications that people with cystic fibrosis need to take. In fact, the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation is one of the world's largest non-governmental granting agencies in the field of CF research. And the foundation is proud this year to support more than 50 top-ranking research projects. With the funding from the foundation, researchers across Canada have achieved many milestones on the road to a cure of CF. And Canadians living with this disease, as Casey has mentioned, are living longer than ever before. And in fact, in 2007, we reached a milestone. There are actually more adults now living with CF than children. The backbone, however, of the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Foundation are the people, the groups, and the organizations that contribute time, support, and money to find a cure or control for this disease. These include the parents, the Dunstans, the bishops, all of the parents who support their families through their challenges. It was in fact the families who started the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation 50 years ago, as Casey mentioned. It's the siblings, the chapter volunteers and staff, Frank and Dolores and all the members of the Peel chapter, the National Foundation staff, the board of directors, the friends. And Hattie, you have many friends here tonight. And it is your friends who have come together to pull this amazing event together. The partners, the sponsors, the service clubs and organizations. Obviously, we have many sponsors here tonight. I had the pleasure of meeting some of the folks from the Bolton Kinsmen across Canada have raised millions of dollars in support of the fight against cystic fibrosis. Next week, in their somewhat haze, I guess I'll say, university students across the country during orientation week will be engaged in Shinorama, which also has raised millions of dollars. Those kids are phenomenal. I had the pleasure of working with a university and a college in my own area and look forward to that. And of course, the medical, clinical, and research community. who are also tireless advocates and fighters in this battle. And a very cool thing is happening now. Because most importantly, the foundation is increasingly supported by adults who are living longer with cystic fibrosis, who on a daily basis serve as inspirations in perseverance, dignity, and courage. When a person with CF reaches what is clinically known as the end stage of their disease, sometimes, but not always, their only chance is a lung transplant. It's also important to emphasize that a transplant is a very complicated and risky process before, during, and after the procedure, and I'm sure, Hattie, no one has to tell you that. Furthermore, a transplant does not cure the disease because CF often affects other organs in the body, but despite its risks, transplant is obviously better than the alternative. The simple reality, though, is that there are not enough lungs for the people who need them. People with cystic fibrosis do everything in their power to fight this disease, but there is one thing they cannot do, and that is to control the supply of valuable donated organs. But each and every one of you has the power to impact the supply of life-giving donated organs. You have a sheet there at your chairs. Sign your donation cards, sign your donation sheets, go online, sign your donation online form. I want to thank this wonderful team, not only for this event, but I've been reading up on the articles because this is a great team. They kept me well informed prior to coming here, and so I had some homework to do. And over the past few months, they've been extremely busy and extremely dedicated to Hattie and to the CF cause, and we're deeply indebted to them. Most importantly, though, it's really cool that you guys have been such a great support to Hattie. On behalf of the Foundation President, Deborah Burlett, the Board of Directors, Executive Director Kathleen Morrison, the Peel Chapter, Frank Valoris, and all the folks at the Peel Chapter, we extend our deeply felt gratitude to each and every one of you here tonight for your support. And Hattie, I wish you continued recovery and progress in your recovery. And I know that we all look forward to seeing lots more of that gutsy attitude in person.
Thank you very much, Mr. LePage. That was very inspiring. Again, just a reminder, as Mr. LePage said, everyone here had a donor form on their chair when they came in. Now, organ donation is not for everyone, but if it is for you and you're not yet a donor, or you can't remember if you are or not, we will be filling out the forms and collecting them at the end of the evening, where we'll be sending them in as a group. You can hand in your forms at the table by the entrance where you came in. All you need to fill it out is your health card and, well, a pen. And remember, only check off the boxes of the things that you do not wish to donate. Some charities ask you to give an arm and a leg. We're just asking for your heart and your lungs. At this point, I would like to introduce an outstanding member of our own community. Please join me in welcoming one of our premier sponsors to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage one of our premier sponsors, Dr. Yahel McGorry.